Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's video we're just gonna be making a pretty simple anti-cheat. This won't be super effective and the cheater can probably just delete the script and it'll be gone, which is honestly what a cheater could do for pretty much any game. Well, if it's on the server, it most likely wouldn't actually affect it. So, should be good. So I guess let's get started with this. So first one we can do a walk speed anti-cheat, so a player can't increase their walk speed unwantingly. So we just go in the starter player. Let's go in the starter player scripts. Let's insert a. Actually, let's just put this in a character. Let's just name this. Well, I don't want to name it AC or anti-cheat because then the cheater could recognize. I'm just gonna name it Walker. I guess why not? So in the script we can do our local walk speed equals 16. So we're making a variable called walk speed, and then we're gonna set this variable to whatever we want the player's walk speed to be. So this is what the player's walk speed has to be. So then we can do local player equals script dot parent, or let's do game get service players get player from character script dot parents. Because so we're getting a service called players and we're gonna get the player from a character, and the script's parent should be the character because this is in starter character scripts, so this is gonna be inside of the player's character. Now what we can do is local humanoid equals script dot parent dot humanoid, or let's just do wait for child humanoid. So script's parent again is the character, and then we're waiting for a humanoid to be inside of the character. Now I can do game get service run service dot render stepped connect function. So every time the player moves, this is gonna run. Now we want to check if the player's walk speed is greater than or less than our desired walk speed. So if player or if humanoid dot walk speed is less than walk speed, or humanoid dot walk speed is greater than walk speed, then humanoid dot walk speed equals walk speed. So we're using pretty much this variable works as in every time we input the word walk speed, it's inputting its value. So this would be 16, 16, and 16. So we're checking if the humanoid's walk speed is greater than 16 or if it's less than 16. So that means the stat or the speed has changed to a number we don't want it to. And if it has, then we just set it to how we want it to be. And this might actually be a capital S. I'm not actually sure. I'm just going to change this to a capital S just in case. So this should be our basic walk speed anti-cheat. So let's load this up. Render step can only be so I guess we should try doing this either on a local script, or if you want it to keep checking even while the player isn't moving, instead of all this, what you can do is right here we can do while. We can either do a while wait loop, or we can do a while and then put that there do. Except this actually might not work. So pretty much while the player's humanoid's walk speed is greater than or less than the value, it's gonna set it to the walk speed value. It's pretty much a loop. So let's see if this one will work. So right now our walk speed is normal. Let's go ahead and try and change our walk speed on the client. This might actually keep it. So if we do 20, or we do 50. So right now we're doing it only on the client or on the server. So I'm pretty sure if I go to the server and I try and change this to like 25. Now, so I guess what we should do is actually keep this while loop. So you can take this out and put this in between the if statement. So we can keep our if statement, but then we're going to take this part. So while humanoid walk speed is greater than or less than stuff, and then we're going to do while task.weight 0.1. So just like this, while task.weight 0.1, and it's going to do this. And here is something. Okay, exploits get ran locally, meaning currently there's no way for an exploit to be like execute things on the server. Well, there are some exploits that are actually capable of doing some things that everyone in the server gets affected by, but there's not many, and I haven't seen one for walk speed, so probably because I don't really search. But let's check this one out. So if we change the speed on the client or the server, it should return back. So we do 20, as you can see. If we do 15, if we do 500, player's speed stays the same. And if we give it a try on the client, let's check this out. Oops, I just opened an extra tab. Uh-oh. Stuff has opened, my bad. As you can see on the client, we can still change it. So in our walker script, we can go ahead and go into starter player scripts, hit the plus and insert a local script, and we can also name this walker. So you can pretty much copy this entire thing, copy it and put it into here, except for our local script we're just going to use run service instead of a while wait loop. So instead of this while task.wait, we can just have our game get service runs service dot render steps and have this inside. And this is gonna be different. We can just do local player equals game dot players dot local player, and then local humanoid equals player dot character dot humanoid. So this should be fine, because in a server script you can't get the local player, but in a local script you can. So if we go ahead and hit play, should have a pretty basic attempt to index nil with humanoid. Game players. I'm just gonna do game wait for child humanoid, because the humanoid isn't always fully loaded when the player first joins. Attempt to index nil. Oh, well, I guess we should just do player wait for or player dot wait, or actually, so we want to get the humanoid. Maybe we should get the character first. So local character equals player dot character, and then let's just do character dot humanoid, or let's just do humanoid wait for child. Just to be safe, this might have to be changed, and we might have to add a little delay. Yeah, let's make a little delay, so before it gets the character we can do like task.wait 2.5, I guess. Just some kind of delay to make sure the character loads in. As you can see, that's nice. So once again, let's try and change the speed on the server. Oop, I just got rid of the decal, I don't really care. So if we go here, let's change it to 25, can't do that. Let's change it to 200, or 2000, can't do that. Now let's try it on the client, which originally was working, but if we go back to our humanoid, let's check this out. If we do 25, as you can see it's 16, and if we try 1000, as you can see our speed has not increased. Let's try 5000. Our speed is not increasing, which is ideal. You can do the same thing with, or I'm going to rename this to just SAC, just because, but you can do the same thing with jump power as well. And you can do the same thing with leader stats. Let's say you want the player to always gain one leader stat from a button. it's pretty simple. All we're gonna do to do that is we can store the original value of the currency or whatever. Let's just quickly make a leader stats. Just gonna actually copy and paste this because it'll be quicker. Just give me a second. If you hear any background noise, I'm sorry. Alright, there. So now that we've got this done, I'm gonna make a quick button so I can actually increase my stats. So this button is going to be, so let's have two buttons. This one I'm just gonna make the background green because it's the hacker button. It's gonna be like, it'll add 10. This one's just gonna be normal colored and it's gonna add 1, just like that. So I'm gonna make this background blue because why not? So I'm gonna make a quick remote event because exploiters like to execute things with the remotes, as it'll happen, like it'll affect the whole server instead of just the client, because the client is more visual. And if you're wondering why I know so much about scripts, it's because some of my friends are exploiters and, well, they show me things, so I learn things. And so I got an executor, and executors can be good, or it might be good to have one to test it on your own game to see what can happen, or like what ways an exploiter can abuse features in your game. So don't make a remote event that adds stats with an amount variable. That's just not good. I'm just gonna do it because, well, it's a quick tutorial and should be coins. Yep, you guys should know better. So let me just quickly make a local script.parent, the mouse button click, connect function, game record storage, remote event, fire server. And this one's gonna be 1 because it's the default, or actually no, this one's gonna be the 10. And this one will be 1. So inside of our server script, we can add to our while wait loop. We can do, let's actually change this. So player.leaderstats.coins.changed connect function. And up here we can make a variable called local original C equals player.leaderstats.coins.value. So when the player's leader stats coins has changed, so let's say coins goes from 1 to 2, we're going to do if player.leaderstats.coins.value minus original C, then, or is greater than 1, then. And we can also, actually, it doesn't matter if they do less than. Why would a hacker want to get less than 1? That would be their problem. But you can add that too. So I'm just going to add brackets around this. So if the player's current leader stat number minus their original amount is less than 1, or if it's greater than 1, then player.leaderstats.coins.value equals, then we're going to do original C plus 1. And then we can just do original C equals player.leaderstats.coins.value. So if they get more than 1, then we're going to set it back down and then set a new variable. And then even if it's not, we're going to set a new variable. So let's quickly test this out. Since we're using remote events, we don't have to modify the local script. Coins is, oops, 1 second, misspelling. I accidentally capital, that's my bad. You might not have to fix that, it just depends on what your leader stats are called. So as you can see, if I click this 1 button, my coins go up by 1. But this 10 button, well, seems to actually still be going up by 1, or by 10, which we don't actually want. We want the player's stats to not increase by that amount. So let me just quickly check this out. It might be something with our if statement actually, or well, it most likely is. I'm gonna spread this out. So original C is their original value. I'm just gonna make it print original C, print original C. See, this is what my last video was talking about. I'm gonna print this value to see if it actually ever gets changed. So now I can go ahead and test it out. So let's see if it actually gets changed. No, in fact, it's not actually printing. So player.leaderstats.coins.changed connect function, and player should be getting it from the script's parent, which the script's parent should be the character. So everything seems to be in order. Let's actually put this in front of our while wait loop, just because we are gonna prioritize this for now. Player.leaderstats.coins.value. I did name it leader stats, did I? That would be funny if I didn't, and that was a problem. So we're setting it back to its original value. And we're getting the player from the character, so player should actually be player, but I'm just gonna go ahead and print player.name, and I'm also gonna print that every time the stats changes. So as you can see, this is pretty much debugging. So it prints my username, and as you can see, it is actually changing now. So let's hit the 10, and look, as you can see, 10 is actually increasing only by 1, when, well, it's meant to be increasing by 10, but we don't want it to. So as you can see, it's increasing by 1, even though we're making it only increase by 10. And if a hacker fires the remote, look, if we change our coins from 88 to like 2000, it's gonna go to 89. Let's say we do 5000, it's gonna be 90. If we do a bajillion, 91. So it'll only ever increase by 1 stat. So that's pretty much our pretty basic anti-cheat. There's not much to it, and it might be a bit bypassable. I haven't fully tested this out. Hopefully this helps you slightly protect your game. Hopefully you enjoyed, and yeah, see ya.